Hello and welcome back to this channel. Today's going to be another one of those very fun videos because today we are going to be doing another informational plant tour. There's a lot to talk about, from growth to stuff that we did with the fish tank earlier. There's so much to talk about, and there's a lot of growth that happened last night and this morning and just throughout the night. So before we start, please subscribe, hit the bell notification bell so you do not miss our video, and please like this video. If you guys have any ideas of videos we could do like this, please comment that down, because we're gonna start to do videos like this every single day. So if you guys want us to do something like this but a little bit different, please comment down your idea. I'd really love to hear what you guys want us to do. So let's go ahead and start today's video. All right, with us doing an informational plant tour every single day and talking about the oregano first, let's switch it up, and instead of talking about the aquaponics last, let's talk about it first. So earlier today, if you guys happened to see that video, if you did not, I'd really love it if you would check that out. What we did earlier was we ended up draining half the water out of the fish tank, and we ended up replacing it with newer water to just get the water to be a lot more clean, give the fish just a better area. The past 5 days, we've had the water just really slowly start to turn a lot more just cloudy, a lot more milk colored. So we ended up turning on the cleaning system on this to hopefully clean it out. It didn't seem to really work much that first few hours it was on, but after that we ended up just turning off the system so the plants could start getting their water back. So it didn't really do much, and then the next morning the water actually really started to clear up, which was interesting. And then we ended up just going through a lot of the system, kind of fixing stuff here and there. And then, now think of this, in the middle of those 5 days, we ended up ordering 2 snails, and out of those 5 days, I could only find one. No matter how hard I looked for that second one, I could not find it. So I originally thought it was 2 things. Either the snails escaped the fish tank when I was doing maintenance on it, which is kind of creepy to think that it could be going around the room, but the other one that made a lot more sense was it was just at the bottom eating the fish food, which made a lot more sense. And 2 days later after that, 48 hours, I think it was a little longer, more like 54 or something like that, ended up showing up, which was really weird. So at least that one ended up showing up. So earlier there was one over there, and then the other one is right there. So they're both very hard at work, which was really weird that the water ended up getting a lot more clear yesterday, and now it's like this morning it was extremely clear, but it smelled really bad. So that's kind of the reason why we ended up replacing some of the water. But later today, I think I'm going to turn off the pump for 5 minutes. I'm going to take apart the actual biofilter and see how all the systems, all the layers of that filtration system is looking, seeing if it's getting really dirty. I really need to just make sure the system's actually getting some clean filtration, so I'll see that later. But now, after I'm done talking for 20 minutes there, let's go ahead and start checking out a lot of these plants. Basil is looking very good. If you guys are new to the channel, we were testing out something to see which one's better, hydroponics or aquaponics, and so far it looks like they're about the same. Pretty much the difference between hydro and aqua is the way they're getting the nutrients, because at the end of the day, they're both the same systems, same grow lights, same just system, except how they're getting the nutrients. Aquaponics is a little bit more complicated, but a lot more fun to run. It's getting their nutrients from fish waste, which is converted into nutrients. So when it goes into a system, it is a NOMA, and by the time it leaves the filtration, it is nitrate. So it goes through the system, and a nitrate is still pretty toxic to fish, but by the time the plants take out that nutrients and it goes back into the system, it is pretty much perfectly clean. Definitely not clean enough to drink, but it's pretty clean where it can go back to the fish, and the fish will still be safe from it. So hydroponics is pretty much just giving it liquid nutrients, very rich liquid nutrients. Definitely a lot easier to run and a lot fun, but it's definitely easier to run. But looking at these ones, these definitely look good too. Now kind of checking them out, the aquaponics is definitely winning by amount of plants that are thriving. But the thing was, we weren't originally planning to put basil on this side. We were planning to do all strawberries up here. So I ended up throwing the best plants in the aquaponics and the leftover plants in the hydroponics, so that could be a very big reason. Now going through the other rest of the system, a lot of the ones don't look good. A lot of the leaves are kind of looking dried up, just because when the plants did go into the system, the roots went through very hard, like 2-3 days, but now they're all starting to recover. Like, let's check out some of the lettuce. Let's check out the red ruby. It still looks a little bit just kind of like a cream colored, not really the white root color we're wanting, but at the end of the day, it's still fine. All of the roots are still absolutely thriving. And yeah, let's go to the other system. But yeah, heading over to the system, we have oregano. The oregano seems to be really, really thriving, especially that we're using kind of like a different method with just nutrients levels and all of that fun stuff. But I really feel like it might do really good. It'll definitely be a waiting game to see if it actually does good. And who knows how many roots they're actually throwing into the soil. So it'll just be more of a waiting game to see if that does work. But so far, it's definitely beating how good the other one did. Looking at the cilantro's definitely showing its age. That's kind of what we've been saying the last like 5 grow tours, or plant tours. But it's definitely growing the leaves that we need, and that's very, very exciting. Going to the bottom shelf, we have all our strawberries. Definitely these other two, I don't really think they're gonna really make it as good. Maybe that one seems to be doing pretty good, but those strawberries right there seem to be absolutely thriving, which is so incredibly awesome. Going kind of throughout these other sides, we got the pea snaps. These ones will probably be coming up maybe tomorrow or the next day, but they're pretty good. They don't really need to be watered because I watered them yesterday, and the water or in the soil is still pretty moist, so that is phenomenal. Now going over to the tomatoes. The tomatoes have really recovered the last few days. Some of them definitely will not recover. They went through it pretty hard when the plants were moved over, but other than that, they seem to be absolutely thriving, which is so amazing to hear. Now going over to this shelf, we have these tomatoes that we were growing this hydroponic way. I've seen some other people grow plants like this before, so I really kind of wanted to try to see how they would do. But kind of going over to the other plants, these ones are brand new. This is lemongrass. I've never had or grown lemongrass before, so that'll be very interesting to see how that works. Then peppermint. I've grown that before, but I've had a lot of trouble germinating it, so I want to see if this one works because I've never germinated it like that before. So I might try some other methods if that doesn't work, because I still have a lot more seeds to work with. Then we have a ton of flowers. These really didn't get much nutrients. It's all coconut coir, so I probably should have overthought that a little bit more, because coconut coir has absolutely no nutrients in it. So that's interesting. And then over here we have lavender. And the lavender's really been kind of just all over the place, growing very, very slowly, but at the end of the day, it is doing okay. Bunching onions, definitely a huge mess, but I'm letting them grow a little bit longer. And then eventually I'll move probably 2/3 of it over to these pots, and then a little bit of it will go over to the hydroponics so you can see how it does over there. Then, one of my favorite plants I'm growing in here is rosemary. I've had so much success growing rosemary, and it's one of the easiest plants to grow. Plus, you barely have to water it. Now, I obviously have overwatered it a little bit, but I'm just pretty much giving it some extra water. I brought the water up a little too high. That was my mistake. But I might drain it later today, but it seems to be really doing pretty good, so I might just leave it. Rosemary does the best in kind of drought situations. So every so often they will need water, but really they just absolutely thrive with no water somehow, which is really, really nice because it's huge water savings. Then we have one of my top favorite plants in here, and we're really wanting to go a lot bigger with this. We have strawberries. The strawberry plants definitely have been doing a lot better lately. I've watered them a lot less. The soil definitely feels a little bit moist still, which is the perfect conditions for the plants. Now, they are drying a little bit. The bottom really, the tray has really gone through a lot, but the plants really, really look pretty awesome. This one's about to have another leaf come up, but just make sure when it does bloom, like right there, you can see a bloom kind of happening right there. Cut the bloom. It's very, very important that you cut the bloom, because once it starts to flower and starts to grow those strawberries, it takes all the energy that is trying to make the root system and the structure of the actual plant, and puts all of that towards the strawberry, which stresses out the plant really, really bad and really can pretty damage it. So that was one of my mistakes. I ended up really damaging some of them. You can kind of look around and see some of the leaves really don't look good, but I'm gonna leave them for now, so the plants can do as good as possible. But definitely made a big mistake in that area. But it looks like they're recovering. This one doesn't look very good, and that one doesn't look very good. But maybe after a few more days, they can survive a lot better. So I think that might be it. I'm trying to think of anything I might have missed, but just talking about the fish, we ended up losing some fish the other day ago. I think it was like 2 days ago. I didn't really want to talk about it yesterday because we were doing different videos, but it was very disappointing. I really feel like it was just because that was the day those two fish did not make it was the day the water was the cloudiest it's ever been. So definitely a problem in that area, but other than that, we've had no other problems, which is very, very good. So yeah, this is going to be the end of the video. So please subscribe, hit the bell notification and all, so you do not miss our video, and please like this video. I just want to give a second to thank you all for watching today's video and supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we post next. Peace.